The case of the stolen smell. In a small American town, there was a wise and well-respected judge named Mark Oakes. Known for his sharp mind and fair rulings, Judge Oakes would always take the time to hear even the most unusual complaints. And among all the strange cases he had ever handled, the case of the stolen smell stood out as one of the most bizarre. It all started when a struggling college student named Jake rented a tiny apartment above a popular burger joint. Jake was a friendly guy but was always strapped for cash. The owner of the burger shop downstairs, Mr. Hanson, was a grumpy and stingy man who seemed to think everyone was out to cheat him. One day, Mr. Hanson overheard Jake talking to a friend. "It sucks only being able to afford plain ramen," the friend said. Jake smiled. "I found a little trick to make it better. Every day, I eat my ramen while the burger shop downstairs is grilling burgers. The smell drifts up, and it makes my ramen taste so much better. It's really the smell that makes food taste amazing." Mr. Hanson was furious. The idea that someone could be enjoying the smell of his delicious burgers without paying for them enraged him. "Thief," he shouted. "You've been stealing the smell of my burgers. You need to pay me for that." Jake was shocked but kept his cool. "You can't charge me for a smell," he said. "A smell isn't something you can steal. It's just there for everyone." But Mr. Hanson wasn't having it. He stormed off to Judge Oakes' courtroom and filed a complaint, accusing Jake of theft. When word got out about the case, people couldn't stop laughing. Who ever heard of stealing a smell? Surely, the judge would toss out the case. To everyone's surprise, Judge Oakes agreed to hear it. "Everyone deserves their day in court," he said. "If Mr. Hanson feels that strongly about the smell of his food, it's my duty to listen." The courtroom was packed, and the crowd was barely containing their laughter. Judge Oakes, however, remained serious as he listened to both sides. After carefully considering the evidence, he delivered his verdict. "The student is clearly guilty," he said, straight-faced. "Stealing another person's property is a crime, and in this case, the smell of Mr. Hanson's burgers is his property." The crowd gasped. Mr. Hanson grinned triumphantly, but Jake looked horrified. How was he supposed to pay for 3 months of burger smells when he barely had enough money to survive? Judge Oakes turned to Jake. "How much money do you have on you?" "Only $100, Your Honor," Jake replied. "I need that for rent or I'll be homeless." "Show me the money," the judge said. Jake reached into his pocket and pulled out the $100 bill. Judge Oakes nodded and told him to crumple the bill and let it make noise as he did so. "Now, drop the bill from one hand to the other," Oakes instructed. The courtroom filled with the sound of crinkling money as Jake obeyed. The judge looked at Mr. Hanson and said, "You have now been paid. The price of the smell of your food has been repaid by the sound of money." Mr. Hanson looked confused. "But, Your Honor, I didn't get the money. He just moved it between his hands." Judge Oakes smiled. "Exactly. You demanded payment for the smell of your food, and I've decided the fair price for that is the sound of money. Justice has been served." With that, the case was closed, and once again, Judge Oakes had proven his wisdom and fairness.